The Thomas Whitaker home, located in Centerville, Utah, is a place where you can go to remind you of simpler times back in the 1800s and 1900s. Let's take a look.
We're in the Whitaker Historical Museum in Centerville, Utah. My name is Paul Smith, and I'm the Whitaker historian. It began as a museum, but some of us who joined the Whitaker board had a different vision. Our vision was to take the home back, restore it back to the period when the Whitaker family owned it. And Thomas William Whitaker was a very unique individual. He learned art and music and languages. He mastered French, Latin, some German. He mastered the violin, and he mastered painting. And a self-portrait hangs on the wall of this home, which we're happy to point out to people. And they peg it at about 1838. He has a gold ring on his pinky, a gold chain on his vest. It's believed that he painted that by looking into a mirror. So he really was, in a sense, a Renaissance man. He was an unusual man in many ways. One thing that he did that practically no man did in his day was that he bathed every single day of his life. And in those days, if a man bathed once a week, he was doing well. This would have been the living room back in Thomas and Elizabeth's day. And over here in one corner, they actually had a kitchen, a small kitchen, if you can imagine. Back in the Victorian era, particularly during the wintertime, the kitchen was the hub of all activity for the family, primarily because you were kept warm by the stove. It was pretty hard to keep the home heated in those days. So the stove was generally going during the day, and of course you had food and fellowship, and it was just a nice place to be. So here, over here is a Utah silk dress. It is very rare, very valuable. His sister, Mary Alice Whitaker, made that for her wedding. And note the size of the waist. That is her in the wedding dress with Charles Parrish, the man she married. Beds in those days were different. They tended to be shorter because people were shorter than we are. In just a generation or two, we've added many inches to our height. When nature called, they had a potty inside, but being British, they did it with style. Look at this beautiful little chair, this little seat here. It's actually a potty. Of course, you have to clean it out every day, but it worked. When Thomas bathed, this is probably what he used. Pitcher full of water, pour it in the bowl. He would have, we don't have any soap here, but he would have soap here and a towel, and he could hand wash himself. He could shave, and then he set for the day, for his 14 to 16 hour day. We don't want to forget the past. If we don't understand where we've been, we can't have a clear vision of where we're going. If the new generation understood the sacrifices and the vision, the courage of these people, then it might help them to have a different vision for the future for themselves.
For more information on the Thomas Whitaker home, including the hours of operation, that information is available on their website at centervilleutah.net.